is a Middle Eastern salad that has a grain base, and it's got lots of healthy, hearty greens in it. Usually it's made with wheat. It's called bulgur wheat, which is just wheat that's been chopped up and soaked. Because I try to keep everything wheat-free and I try to keep everything gluten-free, instead of wheat, we're going to use quinoa. Now you can either use cooked quinoa, which is what I did for the class just because preparation time needs to be kept to a minimum. But at home, if you want to make this a completely raw salad, you can sprout your quinoa, and then you don't have to use the cooked quinoa, and it'll make it raw. To sprout your quinoa, you get this little jar, and it's got the little holes in the lid, and all you do to sprout is so easy. Get just a canning jar. If you don't have one of these fancy lids, you can just use like a piece of cheesecloth or something with a rubber band around it. You put like just a little bit of quinoa in the bottom to fill it up, like just barely to there. And then you fill the rest up with water, put the lid on, you soak it overnight, and then the next day you just rinse it like 2 or 3 times a day. I put it by my counter, and then every time I walk by my sink, for whatever reason, I just rinse it. And you just fill the top up, dump it out, fill it up, dump it out. It takes 2 seconds. Do that 2 or 3 times a day, and you got to soak it overnight, and then within 24 to 36 hours, you've got little sprouts that come out, and they're like a 1/4 inch sprouts, and then it's ready to eat. And you just put that in there, and you can use it instead of cooked grain. Any questions about the sprouting before I move on? Okay, quinoa is very high in protein. It's used by athletes to help build up their muscle. And so that when grains are full of protein, first of all, it lowers the amount of carbohydrates in there, which makes it so your blood sugar doesn't spike as much. It regulates that. And it's more filling and more satisfying. So that's why I'm using quinoa. Today we're just going to take some cooked quinoa. And I want to show you how easy and fast this is. I'm going to make salad for all of you in like 5 minutes. You're going to love it. So this is going to satisfy the requirement of being quick, easy, inexpensive, filling, beautiful, all of that. The texture is going to be great. Now this is a good one to do in the summertime because a lot of these greens, like if you have to buy them in the wintertime, it gets a little bit expensive. So this is a perfect summer salad, like when you have your herbs growing in your garden, and you've got your mint and your cilantro and your parsley all growing wild in your garden and you don't know what to do with them. This is what you do with them. Now to add a little bit of flavor, we're going to put some onions in. Another thing about onions is that Dr. Furman recommends for the people that are trying to reverse their cancer, he recommends high consumption of onions because studies show that if you consume a large amount of onions, your cancer risks are reduced by 50 to 70%. Like that's huge. So that's for onions and anything in the onion family, okay? So we've got onions there. Cucumbers are great for your kidneys. They're great for your skin. We're just going to put some cucumbers in there. Plus they give it a nice texture. This is cilantro. Cilantro has lots of anti-inflammatory products, lots of antioxidants, and it's also a blood cleanser. This is parsley, flat Italian leaf parsley. And that's also, these are all deep leafy greens. Now when you're picking your greens, iceberg lettuce is not that healthy for you. It's got a lot of water content, but not healthy. The darker the green, the more health properties it has in it. So as you're picking your greens to eat, don't pick the ones that look pale, pick the ones that are dark and rich in color. And your herbs, such as parsley, cilantro, and mint, the herbs are going to be more potent with their health properties than the greens. So if you can add herbs and spices into your salads, that is going to help you pump up the health properties of your salad. Then here's the mint. I love the combination of mint and cilantro and parsley. It's just so delicious. And having all those greens in there just makes it really pretty. So anytime you can put red and green in a salad, it's gorgeous. When I was in school a couple years ago, I was at BYU, and all I had was some spring greens and some tomatoes and avocados, and I just had, the Costco bucket. I just had the Costco bucket with the tomatoes and avocados on top and some salad dressing, and one of my friends came by and she's like, "Oh, that is the most beautiful salad I've ever seen in my life." It was just a boring salad, but because of the red and green, it's really eye-catching, and when something's beautiful, you're going to be more inclined to eat it, okay? Now, how easy was that just for the salad preparation? Now we're gonna do the salad dressing. We've got some lemon here, freshly squeezed lemon. Please, I beg you, don't ever use this stuff out of the jar that's been canned. That will ruin your salad. Once again, these little gadgets are so awesome. Before that, I had to use the one where you put on the counter and you do this and it hurts your wrist really bad. I love this because, ta-da, the lemon is done and it was super easy and doesn't hurt your wrist. And plus it gets the lemon really clean, like all the juice gets out of it and there's none left. So if you don't have one of those, I would highly recommend it. Orson Gigi sells them here. We've got olive oil. And when you're getting olive oil, see how it's a dark green color like that? If olive oil has been refined, it gets lighter and the taste gets more mild. So the healthiest olive oil for you is the darker olive oil that has kind of that pronounced olive flavor. If you're getting the kind that doesn't really taste like anything, that means it's been refined. A lot of the health properties have been taken out of it and it's just not as good for you. So you want to get the dark oil and you want to get the kind that tastes like olives. And for the purposes of this salad, you're gonna love it because you're gonna love the flavor mixed with all of the mint and the cilantro. Black pepper, which is great for your digestion. Black pepper will stimulate the cells in your stomach that make hydrochloric acid. So it helps you, for people that have acid reflux or ulcers, it totally helps to heal that. Remember about black pepper though, don't cook it, you gotta eat it raw. If you cook it, all the health properties are destroyed. Salt. Now remember when you're getting your salts, don't get the iodized, refined, super white salt. When you get salt, you want the salt with the minerals still in it, okay? So this is like your gray salt or your pink salt or I think it's called real salt. So you can get Celtic sea salt. Anything that has color to it is going to be way more nutritious than the refined salt. You guys love these garlic presses? This one's cool, the one they sell at Orson Gigi is cool because you just go like that and then it cleans it. It's got the little cleaner on the back. Now raw garlic has allicin in it, which helps to fight bacteria, viruses. I've even cured myself of mono with garlic because of all the antibacterial and antiviral properties in garlic. But you have to eat the garlic within 20 minutes of crushing it because once the cells are crushed, that chemical is degraded and then it doesn't work anymore. So after it's crushed, after 20 minutes, it's still good for you in a lot of other ways, but if you want the powerful antibacterial and antiviral properties, you need to eat it 20 minutes before 20 minutes is up. So we've got some crushed garlic there. I wish you could smell this, you guys. It smells so good. The pepper and the garlic. And I think that's it. I think we've got everything in there. So then, I'm just gonna go like this, toss the salad, get it all mixed in there. Do you guys see that? Beautiful red and green and then the white of the quinoa. So couple of rules about making food beautiful is it's gotta be colorful and diverse. So you wanna get as many colors in there as possible. And when we're talking about nutrients, each different color has different nutrients. So the more variety of color you can get in your food, the more variety of nutrients you can get. And you can get a broad spectrum of protection and nutrients the more colors you use. So we've got lots of reds and greens in here, which are great. I'm just gonna use all of that. Now this tabouli is awesome if you just wanna make it ahead of time because the sauce just soaks into the grain. And it keeps well for maybe a day or two. So if you want to make this ahead, I like making a whole bunch of it and then I can eat it for a couple days. Or if you have a party or something you want to go to and you want to take this, it works great if you just make it the night before and then it can marinate and all those flavors can just like soak in and it's really delicious. It's also good right off the bat, right out of the bowl. So you guys can taste it in a second and tell me what you think. So what do you think? Is that beautiful? So it was easy, right? It's beautiful. If you make it in the summer, it's really inexpensive. Do you want to eat it just looking at it? Yeah, I've been photographing all my recipes so I can put them in my recipe book. And my criteria for if my photo is good enough or not, it's like if I'm looking at it on my computer and I want to lick the screen, then the photo's good enough. So we don't have a screen here, but if you just want to like sink your teeth into the salad, then we know it's a success. All right, so we're just gonna plate this baby up here Looks so good. For those of you that were at my class last week, we made falafel and what else did we make? Tabouli. This goes perfectly with falafel and tabouli. So this salad is going to be super filling, really tasty. Doesn't have all that boring salad stuff in there. Very, very healthy for you. It's going to fill you up till the next meal. And I think that qualifies for a fabulous Cafe Janae salad. What do you think? Huh?